Hi guys and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to finally yet another episode reaction to ReZero Season 3. Today we're going to be checking out the final part of the first half of the season, episode number 8, which when this episode aired, what I believe, this is when it took a 3-4 whatever it was month break and it returned in a following season later that year. So this is going to be really interesting to see just where it leaves off then for people who were experiencing this while that break took place. Apologies for this taking so long to even record. I just had a terrible scheduling conflict on like so many things last week that I think I recorded a single video and it was a Freerin episode the day before the next Freerin episode released. So yeah, it's been all over the place. And I think I'm finally at a place where this week I can hopefully record. I'm not feeling great. I've definitely caught a cold, but I still want to power through this. I want to get through this. I hate the delays. I hate everything like that. So we're going to get through this. Just to give a little update for what's coming next after this episode reaction for ReZero. The next ReZero reaction will be the break times for the first half, so that will be break times for episodes 1 to 8, and then following that we will be jumping into the second half, so episode 9. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to finish the season and then we'll check out the second half of the break times, if that makes sense. So that's the current plans for what we're doing with ReZero. I'm not going to really waste much more time. We're just going to jump right into this one, but if you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Leave a comment down below letting me know how excited you are for season 4 to come. I know that it's coming pretty close and it's coming pretty soon, and I really need to get through this as quick as I can. I'm not going to rush, but you know what I mean, so that I can be caught up by the time season 4 starts. If you guys do want to show even more support, you can hit the notification bell down below so that you'll be notified when future uploads go live on the channel. And of course you can share this with someone who you think might enjoy ReZero reaction content. But yeah, I think I've said my piece. I think I'm ready to just jump right into this one now. So yeah, let's see how this episode goes. ReZero Season 3 episode number 8. Let's go. It's been too long. Reinhardt is here. Finally, Reinhardt is here. Okay, yeah. That last one, it presumed to be Beatrice, like 95% sure it's Beatrice, but I guess we don't know for sure. Huh? Literally? That was a very long What? Yeah? The original copy? How do you have it? So that's why you've been off doing things by yourself. Okay, so this is Betelgeuse's. That's where he went. Okay, we're gonna skip all that. Yep. Yeah, seriously, how do they know that it's here? Is there like an aura coming off it? Seriously, it's all Subaru. Oh shit. Here she comes. Oh, I was going to say she got to smack him. Oh no, the lovely song. What do you mean ugly? You were smiling. Don't act like you weren't smiling. Yep, we are very, very honored. Oh, she will. She's here. She's gonna do something. In the sanctuary one. Oh. Oh, pale juices was a just regular gospel. Duh. Sorry, forgive me. That was dumb of me. Yep. I believe it. Yep. We do need his strength, that's the problem. We're better having him as a friend, an ally, than an enemy. That would make a lot of sense. Yeah. Something that was set in motion long ago, like with the book in the sanctuary, yep. No, Otto, we appreciate it. You did a good thing. Hell yeah, he did. Otto kind of the goat, like he did so much. Okay, we get to see Crusch. That's actually good. I've been wanting to see what the problem. Holy shit, she's covered in blood. Oh yeah. If there's one thing Subaru's good at, it's making people push themselves, so that's a very, very good statement, actually. Holy shit. Jeez. Oh my god, the dragon's blood did not take to her well at all. It's in her whole body. Not just her leg, like with Subaru. Yeah, don't make a scene in front of her. Have these conversations outside. Jeez, yeah. Yeah, they got her bad. What? Even coming into contact with it, just... What? Is it only those that are afflicted by the dragon's blood already? Ferris, you're doing your best. Holy shit. Oh my god. What a man. That he's putting himself through that, and he's worsening his condition because he understands the importance of Crusch. Oh god, it's gone up his whole arm. Oh, come on though. This is more than a little pain. Yep, it's just what that is for now, but... Jeez. Leave it to me. There it is. That's crazy that he's able, like, he can be afflicted by it, but now his right arm and right leg are both. Jeez, that hand is insane. Why is it doing that? Like, if he was to touch Lost, like, what would happen? Eight Arms Kurgan? They know who that is. Oh shit. A zombie. That's why he's blue.
先代の剣聖テレシア版アストレア15年前の大征伐の折
What?
白芸に敗れて死んだはずの私の妻です。
How?
数十年前のアジン戦争の最中死体を操る禁術を扱った者がいました。
Oh no.
すでに滅んでいますが問題はその禁術。
Oh jeez, shit. Oh, that is the ultimate disrespect to his wife. That would be really terrible for him to find out that his grandmother... Oh shit, so Reinhard might end up fighting her? Inherited, does that mean it's passed down?
その加護は代々アストレア家に宿り、必ず時代の権勢を一族の中から選ぶ。妻の加護もまたラインハルトに受け継がれたものです。
So it's not a literal like here it is, it's yeah, okay.
白芸との戦いの最中だったのですよ。
What?
戦いの中で妻は加護を
During the battle? That can happen? 加護を継承したラインハルトをなじったのは事実です。その死を悲しみ、重すぎる宿命を背負わされたばかりの幼い孫を私は許せなかった。後悔しています。 Well, this makes a lot more sense than those tensions earlier in the season. Oh no. Jeez, that was a lot. I'm gonna have to talk about that after. I will take wrath, okay. Yep, your song moves the hearts of others, so you will be a key force against Wrath.
今授かった。あ、子だから？インパンのカゴだよ。一目見ればその人物の持つカゴがわかる。
That's a thing? That's like taking Crusch's I can tell thing, but amplifying it. Oh shit. That's really cool. Oh, Priscilla's riling her up. She's riling her up. She's gonna make her step up. I'll show you. There it is. She knew what she was doing. Lost. Who's gonna take Lost? Demi Beasts? Maybe Garv?
おそらく屍兵と呼ばれる禁術で操られる剣士です。
Yep, okay. Ryan, Wilhelm jumped into 8 Arms Kurgan. Yeah, he knew. Did Garv talk about Kurgan in like season 2 or something? Or I knew it was gonna be Garv. You're not gonna, but Subaru will. Hell yeah, he does. He's gonna take him on and he's gonna win. The episode's ending already? What? It feels like it just started.
冷静ではありません。その役目は僕が引き受けるべきです。
ラインハルト、私を、お前の祖父を誰だと思っている。
ですが、おじい様。
私は剣気と呼ばれた男。
This sword demon, absolutely. He's a demon, he's a beast.
妻の敵が撃てる程度には切れ味を残した。まだ鞘に収まるには早い。
That's it. That's our Wilhelm. Yep, we will gladly take him at our side because that's where we're gonna be safest. Greed. Oh. Greed is a madman. But who's gonna take on Gluttony? Yep, there it is. That's exactly what Garf needed. Let's go. But what about Gluttony? Julius and Ricardo? Okay, there it is. It's gonna be Julius, right? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Ricardo and Julius. But what about Al? Tatakai. We sure will. I suppose I'll just go with Priscilla. Oh wow, look at this imagery right here. It's beautiful. Oh, it's already happening? Shit. Oh no. Screw you. 79th. Get out of here.
以前その番号にふさわしいと思って見初めた女性がいたんだよ。
Oh my god.
だけど迎える前に不適切だと判断して空席にしたんだ。そのおかげで君に出会えた。まさに運命的な出会いだ。
I suppose that'll be explained later.
私からいくつか話しておきたいことがあるの。
Oh?
実は僕の方からも話しておきたいことがあって。
He's gonna tell you to mind your business and keep your mouth shut. Yeah.
僕と結婚した後、
Shut up.
笑うな、泣くな、怒るな、喜ぶな。ただ可愛い顔をしていろ。
それってなんだかすごく。
あのさ、もしかして君、僕に何か文句でもあるの？
Yes.
これだけ君に配慮と。
Yes, we do.
You
have not shown us shit. Yep, we sure are. You're just a small man. Yeah, screw you and your rights.
結婚ってすごく幸せなものだと思ってるの。
はあ？
好きな人同士が一緒にいたいって思ったことを形にする儀式。たくさんの人の中からたった一人を見つけて、
Yeah.
その相手も好きになってくれて、それって本当にすごいことだと思うの。
You're fighting an uphill battle trying to explain this to Regulus, though.
番号で呼ぶの？
呼び方にこだわるのかい？
エミリアタンって呼んでくれる声に。
Emilia Tan, that's taking it all the way back to season 1.
たまにエミリアって呼び
Early season 1.
特別な時だってすぐにわかる。それが無駄なことなんて全然思えない。名前ってそういう思いが込められてるはずだもん。
And the way they're used to.
スバルって誰のこと？っていうか男の名前だよね。これから結婚しようって女の子が夫にしようって相手の前で違う男の名前を出すっていうのはいくらなんでも非常識なんじゃないの？
スバルは
Yep, there it is.
私のことを
He thought he's gonna come save you.
名前を呼んでくれる人。
動くな。
Oh.
そいつの首から下を消し飛ばす。僕はこの結婚式を誰かの葬儀にするつもりはない。
That's a crazy sentence.
わかるだろう？
結婚は付き合ってる男の人と女の人がするもの。でも私にはその資格がまだないの。だって私男の人を女の人として好きになるってことが分かってない。
She's learning.
スバルがあんなに私のことを好きだって言ってくれてるのに、スバルが求めてる答えもそうじゃない答えも返してあげられない。
It's very mature of you, actually, Emilia. Like, insanely mature.
ことが分かってない私だけど、きっといつか誰かのことを好きに。
And we know who that someone will be.
女の人として愛する。
And it will not be
そして
Regulus.
そうなった時、誰のことを好きになる。
Oh, she's already decided. Yep.
私は
There it is. She is standing up to him. Let's go, Emilia. Shut up. Really? Was that? Okay, we got here so fast. Holy shit. Reinhardt just bodied this man with the door. They both kicked the door. It's so funny. Minus the spirit. Subaru! We're here, we're gonna get shit done. I object. The person though, I'll be taking that bride. The person I'll one day fall in love with. That's such a nice title to wrap up the end of that episode. That was such a good way to just come back to ReZero after like maybe 2 weeks of not watching an episode, sadly. And like for this to be how the season, half season wraps up, I would be so hyped. I'd be so ready. I'd be like, let's go, like 4 months and we're back and we're going to see these fights. We're going to see everything. And the fact that we're not wasting any time, I thought that this scene would end with Emilia stepping up and saying that she'll never be Regulus. I thought that's kind of where it would end, and then tensions would just be at a boiling point, but we wouldn't get a release. But the fact that they gave us that release right at the end before they went on this break, I love it. I think it's so good. I think it's incredible. And yeah, Regulus is gonna get what's coming to him, and I am so ready for it. Like, I have not wanted to see someone get like just a real ass whooping beat down in such a long time. Like someone like Pedaljuice, he was scary, he was really intense, and he did some bad shit, but you know, at the end of the day, he was really entertaining, and you know, I liked seeing him on the screen. Like, I knew that there wasn't going to be a bad scene, but Regulus, he has really been driving this along. I'll give him that, but holy shit, do I just want to see him get smacked about, beat up, and just tossed down to the ground. I just don't like the guy. I really just don't like him at all, and I cannot wait to see where this goes. I hope it's like a 5-second fight with Regulus getting beat down, but I don't think it will be. And that was season 3, episode number 8 of ReZero. That was a really good, well-rounded episode of showing a lot of the best parts of ReZero, you know, like where the characters, you know, like the character acting, the drama unfolding, the exposition, and just a lot of information that is going to be super relevant and super important and very at the forefront going into the second half of the season. A lot of that including, you know, stuff with the Van Astrea drama and like everything that was going on there, stuff with Crusch and Subaru with the dragon's blood. Like, there was a lot here that feels like this is going to show up later, and this is where it's going to be more important and more relevant than ever. But yeah, the episode begins, of course, with the drama of finding out that it's Otto who brought a tome of wisdom into this city. And yeah, I thought that genuinely both tomes had been utterly destroyed. Like, there was no bringing them back, there's no redeeming them, there's nothing that we could have done with them. But you know, with obviously Beatrice is burned in the library, and we know that Ram threw Roswell's into fire in season 2, and I guess like my dumb mind was like, oh, gospel, because they'd just mentioned gospel like moments before, and I was like, oh yes, the gospel and the tome, same thing, blah blah blah. Like, no, that was entirely my bad. I'm dumb, I made a mistake, and I'm owning it. But yeah, I guess I just thought for some reason that he had brought that here, by that gospel. But yeah, I guess we don't know really what's happened with that gospel specifically, because I think Subaru's was holding on to it, but we haven't seen it in a very long time. I do think it was really fun, just that moment where we did get that reveal that Otto had brought it here. And I love the way that we actually got that exposition throughout this episode, where initially Otto was like, this isn't information as to why I got it, how I got it, and you know what I'm doing with it. That's not important for any of you guys, so I'm not going to share that. That's relevant for my camp. And yeah, I sometimes do forget that like this is like a whole thing with the candidates and everything, because we're so used to just sharing information amongst ourselves that sometimes I forget that like some of this information doesn't necessarily have to be shared. Like Subaru is one to just share, and others seem to share a lot with Subaru, but in this instance, Otto, being the internal affairs officer, decides this isn't something I'm going to share. And I actually really, really like that because, yeah, we're playing the game, we're playing the politics, and this is how you do it. Like, this is what might end up being like a trump card for us, like the fact that Otto is doing this for our camp. But in saying this, there's no reason now that others in this room know that Otto has had this and brought it here and given it to someone to be restored. There's no reason they can't interfere with that. They can't, get in the way of that, and they can't take it for themselves once it's restored, because they now know that it is here. So if they really wanted, they could go and steal it essentially once it's restored. I don't see anyone here doing it. The only person that might is Al. But at the same time, I would hold out hope that he wouldn't do such a thing. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with this whole thing with the camp and the bringing it here. But it's nice to know what Otto was doing that entire time that he was missing back at the beginning of this season. And we know where everything is, and all of it, for some reason, is related to Subaru. His camp has the Tome of Wisdom. His camp has the silver-haired maiden, and his camp has presumably the artificial spirit. I'm still saying presumably because, yeah, I'm like 95% sure it is Beatrice. Like, that's the story we're being told. That's where everything is being pointed. But, that there's still that 5% of like, there's not that confirmation yet that it is Beatrice that they're looking for. We know it's Emilia that's going to get married. Like, that's set in stone 100%. We know that Otto brought the Tome of Wisdom. That's been confirmed. But we don't know that it's Beatrice. And I know that I probably sound silly and stupid just beating on this point, but until I get that confirmation, I'm still not convinced. But I like I said, I'm like 95% convinced, but there's still that little bit of doubt because I know the series likes to have their little shocks and surprises here and there. So if it ends up being someone other than Beatrice, that would be very surprising, wouldn't it? Of course, after this then, Priscilla shows up with Liliana. Liliana is singing another beautiful song as ever, and Priscilla's here basically it sounds like she's here to mock Subaru, but she kind of says like, the results speak for themselves, and because of everything that we did, she's going to help us out. So yeah, it's just right. The way she speaks is really funny because it's always like, because of your hard work, because of the work that you did, because of what you've done, I suppose I'll help you out, I'll give you a reward. And in this instance, her reward that she is giving out is her help here. And she is going to help us with everything that's going on. So she sits in on this. And as soon as Al sees her, he goes running at her, and she just basically throws him behind her, knocks her into Liliana. Poor little Liliana. We're lucky that her little guitar or banjo thing, whatever it happens to be, didn't break in the scuffle. She's just really funny. While Priscilla is being caught up in everything that they've been talking about, Otto and Subaru leave to discuss the book. And this is where we learn that Otto's not entirely trusting Roswaal. And this is why, a big part in his going and retrieving the book. But he doesn't have reason to doubt Roswaal. It's kind of things that in this moment he's like, these are things that might have been put in place a long time ago. So that's really interesting because we don't know why not to trust Roswaal, but a lot of us, I'm sure, that are also watching this also don't trust him. There's just been no reason to start trusting him after we learned everything last season. But as Subaru does share, we do need his strength. It's better to have him as an ally that we can't trust than to have him as an enemy that we definitely can't trust. Wilhelm then shows up and asks if we can accompany him to go to Crusch because Crusch is asking for Subaru. And of course she would be. Of course that's one of the first things she would ask for. Is Subaru okay? Is Subaru okay? And can I see him? That is very Crusch, I would admit. And I love that girl so much. But I feel so bad for everything she's gone through. She's suffered a lot across this series. And I hope that by the end of the season, a lot of that is undone and we can start to see her return to that former glory that we saw all the way back in season 1. It was very actually worrying and kind of scary seeing Ferris open the door and being covered in blood because that just immediately clues you in, this is not okay. So we enter anyway, and that's when we see Crusch's condition, and she is covered in the dragon's blood. Like, you can see it so clearly throughout her whole body, which makes sense to considering the way that it entered her body. Whereas with Subaru, it entered the leg, and then the leg somehow grew back, so that's why it was kind of trapped and stuck in the leg. And obviously, because the leg had been removed, after reading a comment in the previous episode, which, like, let me just say that comment, like, I'm gonna put it up on the screen somewhere. That comment, like, I would never have known that. Like, yes, we saw it very briefly and we saw glimpses, but without that explanation, I wouldn't have had a damn clue how Subaru circumvented being affected by the dragon's blood as bad as he was, because of the whole curse of the past with the Mabis and everything. Like, it's two different things counteracting against each other, and so that's why I'm guessing it affects just his leg, because his leg was removed, and so it was not affected by the previous curse, you know, and it's got its own thing now with the dragon's blood, so that's why it was only in the leg. But now we are entering here, and we are able to bring that blood into our own system. We're able to, you know, essentially save Crusch by taking it into ourselves. But that's going to have a huge toll, and a great toll on Subaru. But of course, before that, Ferris does ask us, like, he's very broken up. Like, you can see the tears in his eyes and everything, and he does ask us, don't ask Crusch to push yourself. So, you know, we're going to take that into account. We're not going to ask her to push herself, because if one thing Subaru can do, it's get others to push themselves beyond their limits, because of the kind of person he is. The fact that he pushes himself beyond his limits, his human limits, where he's basically just a normal guy, and everyone sees that inspires them to push themselves beyond their limits. And Ferris does not want that right now for Crusch, because of everything she's going through. And Crusch does look like she is really going through it. Like, the way she appears here is really scary, in all honesty. And so Subaru puts his hand out to Crusch, and it affects him. His hand gets affected. He takes in some of what she's experiencing, and it dampens what she's feeling, and it makes her a little more relieved. Like, it gives her a bit of relief, but at the same time, like, Subaru immediately goes to just take all of it in, but he's stopped by Crusch, because Crusch is like, you don't know how this will affect you. Like, you might be feeling pain now, but this might go a lot worse, and if both of us are out, this will be drastic for, you know, the fight. We need you there, and you need to be able to fight. And if Subaru was to do all of this, he would probably be taken out of the fight, and Crusch would be in no condition to immediately start fighting. So, you know, it's good that they are looking at it this way. I really do appreciate Crusch's like, the way she sees things, and, you know, her realism. Like, she's not idealistic, she's a realist, I would say. And you know, I loved that this is kind of how this played out, with the idea that, you know, maybe in the future we could help Crusch, but today it's not that day. We got to get through what we're getting through first. But then at the end of the day as well, maybe taking out lust can also cure her. And I love this whole, like, leave everything to me moment between Subaru and Crusch, because Subaru did pull himself together, and he did give a convincing, you know, just you stay here and rest and leave it to me. I'll deal with everything. I'll get it done. And that's exactly what Crusch needed right here. She needed, you know, to be told everything's going to be okay. Things are going to be fine. Like, we're going to fix this. And, you know, you sitting out is going to be fine. Like, it's not going to affect anything. It's not going to have a huge impact, even though I personally would have loved to see Crusch out there fighting once again. Beyond this moment then, when we're leaving, Wilhelm clues us into who the two masked warriors were, and those being the 8-armed, let me see if I can find the name. I've already forgotten, forgive me. One of them being 8 Arms Kurgan, and seeing this name, it's making me think, if I feel like Garf has maybe talked about this man at some point, like just in one of his offhanded comments that he throws around, and he was the strongest swordsman in the Wallachian Empire, it said, and he died, like, what was it, 10 years ago, I think they said. And the other was the former sword saint, Theresia van Astrea. And that is really, really just sad, because she's not able to rest, she's not able to be at peace, and it's the ultimate disrespect to her and to her name. And of course to the entire Van Estrella bloodline, I guess. The fact that this body was taken and was resurrected and is being puppeteered and, is essentially a zombie. And this is a forbidden technique whose user died several years ago. So how is this happening? Like, what's happening here? How is this even a thing? We're asked that we don't share this with Reinhard. And we get a lot of context for that really tense scene in the first episode where Wilhelm and Reinhard just weren't speaking because of past interactions. And we learn here that Reinhard attained the divine protection of the Sword Saint in the middle of Theresia's battle against the White Whale. So while she was fighting the White Whale, she became a normal, ordinary person who did not have the divine protection, and that cost her her life, you could say. But at the same time, like, I can't help but wonder, did Theresia herself pass this divine protection on, or did it just suddenly leave her when she needed it the most? Is it a divine protection that just decides where it wants to be by moment sort of thing, or does it get passed on through, like, the current user, like, deciding to pass it on? But the way it's described here, it's as though it just left on its own accord, this divine protection, and went to Reinhard, and that's why then Wilhelm was very harsh on this poor little child who had also just lost his grandmother. So Wilhelm is like, she's going to come find me, I know this. After this, we set up the teams to go fight the different archbishops, and there's not really too much to talk about here, but we know the teams at this point, and I think that's very exciting. But it is really, really nice seeing Reinhard's interactions with others here, because we have been, stripped of that for these entire 3 seasons, and finally we're getting to see him interact with the others and how they interact with him. And I think it's really sweet, because while yes, he might be the strongest and everything, and he's seen as this super powerful human person being, he is still, like, going through everything. Like, he's being affected by a lot of this stuff, and he's not exactly, like, super confident in everything. So I do really love seeing these interactions. It makes him a fleshed out character opposed to just being the strongest. So then we cut to Regulus and Emilia, and Regulus talks about how he saved the number 79th seat for someone in particular, that being Emilia. The rest of it, I'm a little unsure, so I'm going to look back over it and see what he exactly said so that I can kind of form something from an analysis standpoint. So he says that he met someone that he thought was perfect for number 79, but right before they were about to get married, he decided she was unsuitable, so he left the seat open, and that's where we are now. So I wonder who that 79th is going to be, because like, mentioning this means that has to be important and relevant. I wonder if it was maybe Pandora or someone of that sort. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, there's several things that just make this very interesting. Before I go much further, I do want to talk about something that I thought about during the episode but never mentioned, about the divine protection of the Van Estrella family, the Sword Saint. The way it works, where it is passed down, it makes me think of some of my older theories about how the witch factors work and everything like that, where they're passed from person to person and stuff. I know it's not so much a theory, it's kind of been confirmed. I did theorize this way back early in season 1, so it's just nice to have those confirmed theories. But it does make me think of how this stuff works, and the fact that Subaru has an authority with the return by death. It's just like, I know that divine protections and the authorities and stuff, they're not the same, but do they sometimes work in similar ways where they can be passed on? Because I need more answers with some of that stuff. But also with the fact that there's someone who can bring has the divine protection to bring the dead back to life, reanimate them. I did theorize earlier this season, episode 1, I think it was this season, that maybe, just maybe, Fortuna is Wrath. But mind has been twisted and everything. But I'm not entirely convinced of that just yet. But hearing about reanimating corpses and stuff does make that all the more plausible and all the more possible. but I'm not sure really how a corpse could then become a Sin Archbishop. Regulus the creep starts to list his demands and that she doesn't smile and just all this dumb bullshit. And Regulus needs an ass whooping. Like, he needs to be beat so bad. And, you know, you can see all the other women that he's married who are just staring blankly because they've been told not to smile or something terrible will happen to them. Emilia speaks up, as she should, against Regulus because Regulus is being a creep, a moron, and a loser. And Emilia is basically sharing, like, marriage is supposed to be a happy thing. Marriage is supposed to be between two people who love each other. And yeah, I love the way she's speaking here. She does not back down. She's very confident. She's very, you know, sure. And I absolutely love the way she holds herself here. It's really nice to see Emilia in situations like these where she's strong, she's powerful, she's a well developed character here, where she doesn't just go into herself and just like suddenly do what others want her to do. She's doing things for herself. And yeah, I loved hearing as well Emilia talk about Subaru here because, you know, it's nice to see her act like speaking very maturely, in the sense of like, she's not going to just say she loves Subaru because he says it, but you know, it hurts her feelings that she doesn't understand love and that she can't share those feelings, and she can't share those words with Subaru, but she also doesn't want to say that she doesn't love him, and she is trying to learn how to love someone. And it's very mature, and I love this line of thinking from her. And you know, it's going to make that moment all the more special when she finally does say it, when she finally realizes it, and when she finally learns what it means. Because, you know, you're going to know that's real. Of course, Regulus does not like hearing her talk about another man. It's going to ruin the perfect day and all that. And hearing Emilia say, I know I'll fall in love with someone one day, and I know exactly who that's going to be, and it's not going to be you. I will never be yours, and I know who it's going to be. Like, she is really spitting here, and Regulus hates it. And right as Regulus is about to do something crazy to Emilia, the two boys kick down the doors and send it flying. Well, Reinhardt sends it flying. Subaru just kicked the door open, and Regulus sent the door flying with his... Or not Regulus, Reinhardt, sorry, sent the door flying with his kick. It was really funny, and he got smacked. Regulus did, so deserved, and yeah, it made for a great moment in a really tense scene at the end of this episode. So we are going to have this big fight spill out at the beginning of next episode between these two boys and Regulus. And seeing the way that they were animated here, Reinhardt and Subaru, it's really nice. I love the lighting and everything, and it made them stand out. And hearing Subaru's name, I'm sure, pissed Regulus off after everything that just happened with Emilia. But yeah, this is how the episode ends, and it's a really great funny moment hearing Subaru say, I object to this union. And the episode title, of course, being the person I'll one day fall in love with, because that's how Emilia feels as we see Subaru. Like, yeah, what a great moment. What a great way to finish this half of the season. And I cannot wait to see what we get in the next half, which I will hopefully be starting very soon. We got to get to the break times first, though, for sure. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this one up here. This was a really, really, really nice episode to just kind of finish things off and wrap up all these loose ends to get to a point where things are just going to kick off in an intense, insane way with a lot of action in the next half. I can see why they might have needed that break, because there's going to be a lot of action. But yeah, I'm just going to wrap this one up. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and leave a comment down below letting me know how excited you are for season 4 of ReZero. And yeah, if you want to share this with a friend who you think might enjoy ReZero reaction content, I would really appreciate that. And you can hit the notification bell down below so that you'll be notified when a future video goes live on the channel. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up. I hope that you guys are having a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.